What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. Um, wanted to do some Dallas Cowboys news. Sports Illustrated reported Cowboys make an aggressive move to land massive wide receiver. So let's see what they are talking about here. Terrio McMillan. Is what they have them. If I had to guess what they're going to do, here's the thing. Getting McMillan would be great, right? Be eye-catching. Be a lot of things. It'd be exciting. Like, Old Dak has another big-time receiver to pair up with Lamb. Just like in one of my mock drafts, I talked about getting the tight end from Penn State. Getting Ashton Genty would be awesome. As far as the optics and all that. Some things to think about. Not a deep safety class. Do we have an impact safety on defense now? Do we really have an impact defensive player besides Micah Parsons? No. Do we have an impact defensive linebacker besides Demarion Overshown? Because Parsons is kind of a linebacker D-end hybrid type thing. A little bit small to be a defensive end full-time. A little bit big to be a linebacker full-time. So he's kind of like a pass rush specialist. Moving around, do stuff like that. So you can't really dedicate him to defensive end. And you can't really dedicate him to linebacker. Which is good and bad in its own way. But he's a superstar. He makes havoc. He creates problems for the offense. DeMarvion Overshown can create problems, but he gets hurt. You look at the problems on defense, safety. Donovan Wilson's getting older. He's not the same player he was. Marquise Bell, Wanye Thomas are not superstars. And there's talk about moving Israel Mukwamu back to corner. They've tried him at safety, and we did this with Byron Jones. Let's move him to safety. We picked him in the first round out of Connecticut years ago. Let's move him to safety. He was a corner, played corner, did okay at safety, but it wasn't until we moved him back to corner that he became a superstar. And then guess what? We either had to pay him or let him walk. He went to Miami, was still a very good corner, and we missed out on a guy we picked in the first round. Safeties, nobody really appreciated him. We didn't really give Jeff Heath a chance until it was too late and he was gone. Barry Church, waited forever. We don't. Sorry. The Cowboys, we always try to outsmart the room. We have to be the smartest people, cap wise and everything. Can't admit when we make a mistake. Trey Lance, can't admit that was a mistake. Taco Charlton, can't admit that was a mistake. And then we don't want to draft Peyton Wilson because, we had Sean Lee was hurt. But we still got value from him. When he was on the field, he was one of the best linebackers. Leighton Vander Esch, when he was on the field, he's one of the best linebackers. Jalen Smith, we had productive years out of him. It's not like Taco Charlton where you got no production whatsoever, and you could have had T.J. Watt still being in great production for over 10 years or whatever. No, we take Taco Charlton because he's 6'6", 270, and he's been out of the league for a while. Trayvon Diggs. We have Kalen Carson, who I think can be something. Andrew Booth was hoping, but doesn't look great. So where's your depth? You have Kamir Elam now, which could be promising, so that's good. But Trayvon Diggs, still hurt, still reeling from his injury last year. DaRon Bland coming off an injury. We got no depth. Offensive line. Tyler Guyton didn't look as good as I thought he was going to look last year. Tyler Smith has been really good at guard, but now we lost Zach Martin. We got the Ron Jones kid from Miami, but he's not Zach Martin. You're still not sure about Cooper Beebe at center or guard. Now maybe Beebe fills in and TJ Bass at guard. And you kick Tyler Smith to right tackle or left tackle and Tyler Guyton. Yeah. And then you got Dak Prescott. Continues to get injured. He's only getting older. We've wasted his best years with subpar talent around him. That's a fact. Just like we did with Tony Romo. And now everybody's enamored by Joe Milton. Oh my God, they're going to trade Dak Prescott. You're really going to start Joe Milton. Really. Off one game. You even had microphone, which is a good comparison. Look, this is not a shot at him. He's very good at what he does. And he knows how to get people rattled. But he had a good comparison. When Romo went down, Dak Prescott took over. And that was the end of Tony Romo's career. Dak Prescott goes down, the same thing could happen with Joe Milton. Joe Milton was not as seasoned as Dak Prescott, was not as successful in college as Dak Prescott. That's the difference. You had a lot more better tape and very good film on Dak Prescott from Mississippi State than you've had from Joe Milton, either at Alabama or Tennessee. Didn't do great in either one of those. Great physical talent. But let's look at his combine. So this is his draft prospect profile on NFL.com. If you'll let me read it. So he's 6'5". Pahokee, Florida is his hometown. College was Tennessee, where he was drafted out of. Arm 33 and 3/8. Drafted by the Patriots. Round 6. Oh my gosh, Tom Brady. Don't do that to yourself. His prospect grade was 5.80. Average, backup, or special teamer. Production score of 59. 2024 Combine quarterback rank 14th. Doesn't show his Combine results. Except for his broad jump was 10 inches. Vertical jump 35. Player bio, 2018 Michigan. Redshirted, played in 4 games as a reserve. 3 out of 4, 75, 58 yards, interception. 2019 Michigan, played in 4 games. I forgot he was at Michigan. Yeah, he was at Michigan. He wasn't at Alabama. My bad. I'm thinking of Jalen Milroe. Played Michigan 2020. Played in 6 games. Played in 8 games in 2021. He played in 9 games when Hendon Hooker went down. How's Hendon Hooker doing, by the way, in Detroit? They just give Jared Goff a new contract, right? So Hendon Hooker was better. He couldn't beat him out for the starting job. It was only when he was injured that he got to start. 2023, started 12 games. 229 out of 354, passed 64.7%, 2,813 yards, 20 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. Not bad, but nothing blows you off the map. How many playoff games did he win in college? None. Did he take many bowl games? No. This is by Lance Zierlein. Draft projection for him was round 5. He has potential arm talent. Okay, so now we're going to put him, as far as arm strength, with Caleb Williams. We'll put him in there with Trevor Lawrence. Ryan Leaf. Now, he's obviously not an idiot like Ryan Leaf was. Peyton Manning, those kind of guys. He's got the arm strength. Ben Roethlisberger, he's got arm strength. His strengths, elite size and arm strength, are both well beyond positional norms. Okay. Throws blazing heat to beat coverage and to tight windows. Delivers long, off-platform throws with the flick of the wrist. So Josh Allen will stand his ground and take punishing hits to make the throw. That's a good thing. Able to keep eyes downfield. While deftly sliding around pocket pressure. Posted 32 touchdowns against just 5 interceptions over 3 seasons at Tennessee. Yeah, but he wasn't a full-time starter, so. Strong against potential sacks and escapes the pocket to extend the play. Weaknesses. Disturbing lack of placement and timing as a deep ball passer. Disturbing, okay? Not just, hey, he's got some issues here. Disturbing lack. At 25 years old. Not a lot of time to fix that. Completed just 38.6% of his throws beyond 10 yards per Pro Football Focus in 2023. Struggles with anticipatory throws, running receivers into collisions. Telegraphs throws between the hashes, giving safeties an easy jump on the ball. Desires to throw the ball through receivers rather than deliver with touch. Inconsistent, tying his feet to eyes and squaring to his targets. Frequently forces moving targets to break stride to try to make the catch. So all things that could get his teammates hurt. Boomer bust potential 6.5, 6.6. Will eventually be plus starter 6.3 to 6.39. That's not very good. If that's equating it to like a 60% chance, I don't know what these numbers exactly mean for sure. But if it's like 60% chance or 80% or 70, then that's a D. That's a failing grade. And some of these are 5.8 and 5.5. That's his potential for average backup or special teamer. Priority undrafted free agent, so that's an E. Candidate for bottom of roster or practice squad. Yeah, not great for that. Traits or talent to be above average backup, 6.0 to 6.09. Will eventually be average starter, 6.2, 6.29. Year one starter, 6.9, 6.7. Potential All-Pro, 7.3, 7.5. So his potential to be an All-Pro is a C. So you want me to get on board with trading Dak Prescott, thinking he's going to want to go to the Browns, first of all, a crap team who's already made bad decisions on quarterbacks and other things. Myles Garrett was a smart decision, but they had no choice. I mean, they would have got crushed. Their fans would have lit the stadium on fire if they had traded him or let him hit free agency and not paid him. So he's got great potential, but 25, that window is closing fast. Who's to say he won't get hurt? Ben Roethlisberger, but not quite, would be my comparison. Not quite Ben. Not as big as Ben. Not maybe more athletic than Ben. Not as good an arm as Ben in his younger days, but Ben Roethlisberger would be my comparison. Just a lesser cerebral Ben Roethlisberger. Ben Roethlisberger knew what plays to check in and out of, had better touch. This kid is in trouble. He's 25. If he was 20 or 21, then there's more hope that you can fix things and get him to be a superstar. If he was 20, 21, 22 years old, but 25, not good. But there's fans out there that are saying he's going to be Dak's replacement. And he could very well be. It's a nightmare scenario, but if Dak goes down like he did in 2020, this kid will probably play. I still would draft a quarterback, a young guy. But that's just me. So if you guys like this video and want to see more, like, subscribe, comment, share, notifications. Once we hit 100, doing a free giveaway. Love you all. Catch you on the next one.